Hello guys, and welcome to the GamingLegendz YouTube channel. My name is TJ, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to use your mobile device, whether it's an iPhone, an iPad, or an Android, or a tablet, or just phone, and how to use that for remote play to connect to your PlayStation 5 and play PlayStation 5 games via Xim Apex. I did try this method with the Cronus XIM, and to no luck, I did not get it to work. However, the Xim Apex does work. There is a bit of an input lag, as always, when it comes to remote play, but it's not terrible. And I believe even still, for my network, it was 1 millisecond. I will try to show you how to do this throughout one device, because it is all the same at the end of the day. Before we begin the video, I would like to say, if this video helps you out, please give us a like and a subscribe. And other people who want to support more, there's a donation button in the description, and all donations are appreciated. They will go towards devices and equipment and software development for GamingLegendz and other future YouTube videos. For content creators that use this video to create your own content, please give us a shout out or credit, and we'll appreciate that. As always, before we begin this video, we will talk about what devices we need. So for this tutorial, we're going to be using the DualShock 4 version 2. I believe this controller is the only one that I've gotten to work with the PlayStation 5. You'll also need these devices. Not both of them. You'll pick either or. These are called OTG devices. OTG cable. This is on-the-go cables. There's links in the description on where to buy them. And this is for Android. This is a USB-C OTG cable. This is for Android and iPad. This is the Lightning cable OTG version for iPhones and other Apple devices that use Lightning cable. So this method works with only the PlayStation 5 controller for the Apple devices, and the PlayStation 4 DualShock version 2 controller works for Android and Apple devices, all of them. However, with the PlayStation 5 DualSense controller and the Apple devices, it only works good sometimes. So I experience it going in circles by itself or whatever. Sometimes I've got it to work by just unplugging it and plugging it back in, and the controller works just fine. Other times when you plug it in, you'll lose input eventually. So I'm not sure what causes that yet, but I'm pretty sure my only fix to that was unplugging it and plugging it back in. So if you experience that, that's all you have to do if that's the only controller you have. However, the best controller to use for this is your DualShock 4 version 2 controller. So to begin, I'm going to use the iPad. The iPad tutorial, this tutorial with the iPad should show you how to use it on the iPhone. This is the iPhone 12 Max. It works for this. And the phone I'm using to record is a Galaxy S20 Ultra, and it still works for that. However, the PlayStation 5 controller does not work on Androids yet. I'm pretty sure it's a driver issue, and it could come out in a future Android update. Also, other PlayStation 5 controller issues with the Apple devices probably could come out in a future Apple update. So I'm going to begin by grabbing my OTG cable for the iPad, and I'm going to plug it in. So this cable comes with two ends, one USB input and a charging area. So go ahead and plug yours in and charge it. It should be charging. I'm going to connect to my PlayStation, which is right here on the middle screen. It's searching. Normally this should always connect right away. It searches nearby and it should search your internal network. So I already have it connected. I just canceled that and search. You want it to search through your network before it searches over the internet, and that will minimize your input lag completely. So now that I have that connected, I'm going to show you, actually, if you were to connect a PlayStation 4 controller directly to the iPad, this will work right away. This will, for people who want to play remotely somewhere else in another room, this works. So PlayStation 5 controller does not work with this directly. You need the Xim Apex for the PlayStation 5 controller to work. Even then, that is very limited because it disconnects by itself very fast. And I'm not sure what causes that. Not yet. I can look into it, but for the most part, we're just going to use the PlayStation 4 controller. So I'm going to take my Xim Apex, and I believe, once again, with my Xim Apex, I use an external hub. I don't use the hub that the Xim comes with due to the lack of power it provides. I use an external hub, and I already have 2 of them. One's for the Xbox, one's for PC and PlayStation and other things. Actually, this is for the Xbox. This is exactly just for Xim. And that hub is the only one I use for Xim now because it provides great power. I've never had a problem with it to this date. So I'm going to plug my USB hub into the back of the Xim. And at the bottom of the hub, that would be known as slot 1. I put my mouse in. The next slot should be the keyboard. And the slot next to that one, or the next slot up, would be your controller. I'm just using a mouse and controller for this method, but those that have a keyboard, you'd put it into the next slot. So I'm going to plug in the Xim to the cable or the iPad. Let it initialize. You'll know it'll blink rapidly, and then it'll just turn to the solid color of your first choice of your profile. So my mouse is on, no movement yet. We're going to use the PlayStation 5 controller first. And we may need to power cycle after we use this. But this is just to show you the PlayStation 5 controller does work. However, you will lose input sometimes. Not all the time. So PlayStation 5 controller is connected. I can go back into Siege. I'm turning in circles, but it stops. And I'm still holding it. So the PlayStation 5 controller stays connected only for so long. I have gotten it to stay connected longer. I'm not sure what I did. But for now, we're just going to move on to the PlayStation 4 controller, DualShock 4 version 2 only. So I'm going to power cycle the Xim with no controller plugged in, but the hub is. I unplug the controller. I'm going to plug in the Xim again, and we are going to wait for the mouse to turn on. Mouse is on. Once the mouse is on, that's always my indicator that the controller's ready. The mouse and this must be white. Well, not white, but whatever color you have it set to. But the mouse must come on in your keyboard. That means it's ready. If you don't do it that way, some mice that I had, I believe my old Corsair mouse, if I plugged it in with the controller, the mouse wouldn't turn on. And that's how I know I didn't plug it in the right sequence. Always the mouse first, and then keyboard, and then controller. Mouse and keyboard can go in at the same time. I haven't seen a problem with that yet, but controller's always last. So I'm going to plug in my controller, and it should turn on. If it doesn't, I need to unplug the OTG cable. So I'm going to unplug the OTG cable and plug it back in. This is the PlayStation 5 controller is doing. Just reset all this. So I plugged in the OTG cable again. We're going to wait for the mouse to come on. The mouse is not coming on. Oh, yes it is. Okay, so the mouse is on. Now we're going to try the PlayStation 4 controller again. Now the PlayStation 4 controller is on. PlayStation moved. I'm going to test the input lag. This is the bottom, obviously iPad. This is very minimal. I think I could play competitively like this. I wouldn't. I'll just use my normal PC. But then again, I only play this on Xbox. However, this looks great compared to seconds of lag. That's just a minimal lag and almost probably the same as PC. So I don't have sound on right now, and I don't think the sound goes through the iPad, although I thought it did. But either way, the sound doesn't matter. This is the mouse on Zen, on iPad on Xim for PlayStation 5 games. So this should almost work with any PlayStation 5 game. This will work with any PlayStation 5 game up to date of this recording. And this is only the Xim way. I can't get the Cronus to work. I'll keep trying, and I'll update this tutorial if I do get it to work or create a different one. But remember, this way, what I showed you here, you will do the same thing with an Apple device or an Apple Lightning cable. You'll do the same thing. Same inputs, charger, Lightning cable adapter, and USB input. I don't think there's a big difference whether that's USB 3.0 or 2.0, because this is 3.0 and that cable is 2.0. I don't see a major difference in that, but this should work for all your tablets. This should work for all your mobile devices. So far, I've tested it on all three of these, and it worked flawlessly. PlayStation 5 controller, remember, it does not work with your Apple devices that well. It does, but you need the Xim Apex. And when you plug it into Android, it doesn't respond at all. The DualShock 4 version 2 controller only is the only controller that works with this method. So, if you enjoyed this video and it helped you out, please give us a like and a follow, and we hope to see you in the next video.